Hi and welcome. A new series, an advanced approach to yoga. Now, some of these sessions will not be suitable in any way for beginners or for those who are injured. This session possibly might be. It's a pretty simple practice. We're going to do one pose for an hour. This pose, sitting cross-legged. If you think you're up for it, then stick around. So, set yourself up, legs crossed, good posture, close your eyes. Relax into this moment. We're taking time. We're stopping everything else, all of our activities and engagements. We're just sitting. It's no big deal. It should be easy. We're creating a space for ourselves, a space to open up, we're going to spend time being quiet and still. We are going to engage the mind. As much as we engage the body, as we use this tool, as we meditate upon this body that you can feel right now. It is breathing. This body is alive. For now. Through the mouth, have a big breath in and a deep sigh. Okay, open your eyes. One pose for an hour, but we will explore this pose. So, the first thing is to think about how even your pose is, particularly with the legs, how evenly placed in terms of the way you've set it up. So of course you want to have the hips feeling nice and flat, the base of the pelvis, that would be great. You can see, if I look at my pose right now, I can see it in the camera. It's not exactly even. It doesn't really matter, but I can notice that. So maybe I'll think about making it a little bit more even. I want to have the knees at the same height. So have a look at your own legs and then start to walk forwards. Have a deep breath. Settling in, we've got plenty of time. Start focusing on effective breathing. Check that your feet, ankles are loose, hips and knees. Make sure you are nowhere near maximum in the stretch, that you haven't gone too far forwards. We've got time, we will go further forwards. There's no rush. So let's give the body some time to open up gradually in line with its readiness. If you like, you can close your eyes. Start noticing pressure, or lots of little pressures in the body, areas of tension. We're going to work with tension today in this session, because we're going to persist. One pose for an hour. Now, of course, being a mature practitioner, being aware of your body and where it's at, do not force yourself. And if you need to take a break, then do. And then just come back in when you're ready. So, for example, coming back is already a little bit of a rest. The pressure is a bit less. But you can take the legs out straight in front. You can have the arms back, head back, and rest. If you need to, you can completely release the pose and lie down. But if you lie down flat, with the knees flat, the whole body flat and straight. Rest as much as you like, and then come back in when you're ready. Really, we have the idea of doing one pose for an hour. It's like the headstand. The headstand starts the minute it is mentioned. If I say to you, okay, let's do the headstand, many people will go, oh no, I can't do the headstand. It's a classic response. I've heard that many times. It's already started. We haven't done anything physically. We've engaged with the idea. So it's the same thing here. This is a much easier pose than the headstand, probably, for most people. Okay, so if you're feeling you've got room, you can come forwards more. Perhaps you might want to come back. It's up to you. There's no rules here. You've got to work with your own body. And I'll just throw you some variations at different times, throw you some other ideas. If you like, you can drop the head. Keep using your breathing. That's probably the most important part of this session. Effective breathing to release pressure. So this practice will be a study in pressure, physical pressure, of course, you can feel it right now. But as we keep going, the pressure is going to build more and more psychologically, mentally, emotionally. And you may start to struggle. And that's okay. If you're struggling, relax into the struggle. Accept the struggle. Allow it. Work with it. See what you can find out about yourself under pressure. But if the pressure becomes too much, and that's for you to decide, then you've got three options. The first one is have a sigh. See if that helps. If it doesn't help, or if you just need another option, then back off in the pose. Make it easier for yourself while still continuing. Try to relax into that and see how things go there. You may find pressure builds again, perhaps at a slower rate of acceleration. 3 is release the pose and take rest. Okay. It's a breath that I use a lot when I'm under pressure. I find it really helpful. It's like I'm leaking air from a balloon. So imagine you've got a full balloon and it's at its maximum and you're squeezing the release, that little end of the balloon. And if you just loosen your fingers a bit, the air, which already has pressure behind it, it will just start to leak out. It's got that type of feeling. So I do it through pursed lips, so that little opening is so small. Another sound, more like a See, because the release is so thin, you can lengthen that exhalation quite a lot. So it's a really good way to exhale. And we're really thinking of the idea of releasing pressure gradually. Can you hear that pigeon? Oh, it's stopped. There it is. I'm really glad in this session to not be feeling the psychological pressure of the pigeons around this building, this garage. I'm out the back, and the pigeons have a particular pitch that is really noticeable in these recordings, and in so many sessions previously I've been editing it out, but in this one, bad luck. Any noise, if someone suddenly starts using their drill, it's going to be in this video. It reminds me of India. In India it's just so loud the whole time, and that's life. But it's really interesting when something is bothering you. So these pigeons, they're very persistent, and they may cry out for the whole hour. And if you notice your mind feeling the pressure of that, as I have, it's a very good meditation. Okay. Slowly come back. Have a breath. Now, we're going to swap the legs over. And then come forwards again. Did you check your legs? Are they set up pretty evenly? That's an important one in terms of paying attention in a pose. It's the setup point that is the most important point or part to be paying attention to. Once you have set the pose up well, you can then relax mentally and relax deeply into the pose. Let go of control. But you want to know that you've set the pose up properly. So I think it is worth paying attention to the structure of a pose, the technique, in the beginning. And then later on, checking again, but not getting obsessive about it. So, having changed sides, we have a slightly different pose. In fact, it is a completely different pose, although it's a very similar pose. Just some subtle change. But for the back, it's all going to be tilting slightly differently. The pulley system will be a little bit different. It's all dependent on the tensions in your ankles, your knees, your hips, and the pelvis, all the muscles of the pelvis, the buttocks, the lower back, the digestion, the abdominal muscles. Keep going with this pose. I'm going to read you something. The Tree of Yoga by B.K.S. Iyengar. This is a great book, and if you're a yoga practitioner and you haven't read it, then you will get a great deal out of it if you do. Anyone who practices yoga will benefit from reading this book at least once. I'm going to read a couple pages to begin with. Just keep going with the pose, keep breathing, keep trying to relax and release. Effort, awareness, and joy. When you are practicing a pose in yoga, can you find the delicate balance between taking the pose to its maximum extent and taking it beyond that point, so that there is too much effort creating wrong tension in the body? When you are overstretching somewhere to get the optimum movement, have you ever noticed that you are also giving too little attention to other parts of the body? Let's wait for the plane. This is something you could do, is just a little bit of bouncing. It's a nice way to not get stuck in the tension. Okay. When you're overstretching, have you ever noticed that you're also giving too little attention to the other parts of the body? That disturbs the body and makes it shake. If the root of a tree is weak, the tree itself cannot be strong. Suppose you are doing a headstand, head balance. What happens if you stretch your legs in order to get a good pose and let your neck muscles become loose? Or if your elbows do not grip the floor, so the fear comes that you are falling or swaying from side to side. Because the strong muscles try to control the pose, the weak muscles give way. When doing the pose, therefore, you have to maintain a single stretch from the floor to the top without letting any part drop. When you are stretching the legs, you have to send an alarm signal to your arms. I'm stretching a leg, so don't lose your attention. That is awareness. Because we lose our awareness and our attention is partial, we don't know whether we are holding the grip or not. This is something you could do if you're feeling a bit tight, a bit stuck. Massaging the back. I'm also lifting up hip and then hip. So I'm rolling through the pelvis a little bit. You can lose the benefits of what you are doing because of focusing too much partial attention on trying to perfect the pose. What are you focusing on? You're trying to perfect the pose, but from where to where? That is where things become difficult. Focusing on one point is concentration. Focusing on all points at the same time is meditation. Meditation is centrifugal as well as centripetal. In concentration, you want to focus on one point, and the other points lose their potential. But if you spread the concentration from the extended part to all the other parts of the body without losing the concentration on the extended part, then you will not lose the inner action or the outer expression of the pose. And that teaches you what meditation is. Concentration has a point of focus. Meditation has no points. That is the secret. Hari Om Mahadev. Now's a good time to notice whether you're tightening your shoulders, whether you're lifting them. Try dropping them. Are you tightening your elbows, forearms, wrists, fingers? Are you tightening your toes? Through the feet? the ankles, inside the knees, quadriceps, hamstrings, muscles around the hips. Is your jaw tightening? Your neck? The forehead? Can you hear the rain sprinkling on the roof? Well, my friends, we're going well. We've already done half an hour. Have a sigh. We've done both sides for about 16 minutes each. Let's take a little break. Ease back. Release the legs. Take the arms back. Head back. Ease your tummy forwards. Relax. Become restful. Feel your body responding to the change. The release of pressure. Don't slouch though. Ease your tummy forwards a little bit. Throat relaxed. So this idea of pressure, psychological pressure, it's a really important part of yoga practice, yoga training, yoga learning. If you like, you can loosen the toes, get some blood flow down there. Ankles, you can go side to side. Forwards and back. Yeah, for example, like with those birds, it's really funny. They've really been stressing my mind out. I've noticed this. Every time I want to record, I have to check if the birds are out there and loud. And so usually I won't be able to do it then, and so I have to wait until there's the right time. And sometimes I've thought, here's a chance. And I've set everything up, and then the birds, one of them just landed on the roof and started calling out. So for me, it's really important to watch my mind about that, how I am feeling constraint. Hope you can hear me. Loosen the knees a bit. We're going to go back into the pose in a sec. Okay, I think we're ready. So, now, if you can, I'm going to sit back a little bit. If you can, half lotus, bringing the first leg that you had in front up. And for some people, look, it's easy to do full lotus. If you can, bring both feet up. And then ease forwards again. So once we're coming forwards, we're building pressure. If it gets too loud, that there's no point me talking, well, then I'll just leave you in silence to deal with your own body and mind, the pressure. Keep using your breathing. Make sure that you're as comfortable as possible, as restful as possible in the pose. Not pushing, not overdoing anything. Backing off slightly and creating space for your body, for your mind. If you like, you can lengthen even further in this pose. Some people can come all the way down. Feel your back, feel your spine, the beautiful lengthening. And try to make sure that it's very even in the left flank of lower back and the right flank. Every now and then lift your chest up and lead the pose with the chest, lengthening the spine in that way. Noticing pressure, psychological pressure, building. Can you, without panicking, continue and relax into the pressure? What's the idea with those birds? What they do is they create a situation for me to struggle with. That's my mind that's struggling with it. I don't need to worry, it doesn't even need to matter. But if anything bothers me, that's what we want to meditate upon in yoga. And therefore, we are very happy to take that opportunity. We are very thankful for that which is irritating us or making life difficult for us, apparently putting us under pressure, even though it's actually our own choice. We are actively creating the concept of pressure. And that's why the sigh is so helpful. The sigh is a palpable, physical, mental and emotional feeling of release of pressure. And it's got to sound right. You can tell if you've done a good sigh or not. You will feel release. Massaging the pose a little bit so you don't get stuck. It's something you could try if you like. As gentle as possible. If you're noticing pins and needles, just move your toes around a little bit. See if you can move the ankles around a little bit, even the hips, lower back. You've got bouncing, which will definitely release and get some blood flowing. And then come back. One more minute, and then we're going to swap the legs over. If you like, for this minute, focus on concentration, as Iyengar was describing, concentrating your attention only on the feeling of the gentle flowing breath moving through your nostrils. No matter what else is calling your attention away, other parts of the body, for example, isolate your attention within the nostrils. Okay. Through the mouth, have a deep sigh. Well done. Ease back. Release the legs out straight. A little bit of a bounce perhaps. A loosen. Have a sigh. And then straight away, changing. When you're ready, start to apply more pressure as you ease forwards. We know this with children. If you distract their attention, they can get over being upset very quickly, very easily. It's quite amazing. It's quite hilarious sometimes. You can try that. If you're struggling, one of the things you could try, and even if you're not struggling, you could do this too. Have a much deeper feeling in this last 6 or so minutes in this pose. Slow, deep breathing through the nose. Slowly in towards full. Slowly out towards empty. It's a really good opportunity now. The body will have opened up quite a bit compared to in the beginning. So we've got a chance, without needing to push, just relax more deeply and get deeper in, get into the deeper tensions and see if they can open up and release. So try that. Slow deep breathing. All through the nose. Keep going with the breathing if you like. One thing you could do here, just towards the end, the last few minutes, is to, again, lead with the chest, lengthen the spine. For me, it's better to sit upright at this point. Try to have a nice straight spine. And then you can walk further forwards and keep the chest up. Keep doing the breathing if you like. One more minute. See if you can go deeply within your body and breath. And then, before we move through the mouth, have a deep sigh. Not panicking, not rushing. Relax your mind. Wait a little bit longer just to see if there's desperation and anxiety in the background or in the foreground. Okay, well done, a fantastic effort. Slowly now, ease back. First of all, just see if that releases a lot of pressure, makes a significant difference to the feeling of the pose. Have a sigh. Maybe you can feel that you have fantastic posture at this point. Wonderful. Alright, now such an important part of this whole practice, this whole session, is to lie down and take proper rest. So please release your legs, lie down, grab a blanket if you've got one, if you need to stay warm, and really take this opportunity to listen to your body and mind, having been through a series of different pressures for 1 hour. Once you're settled, have a big breath in and a deep sigh. Get a feeling for the floor. And a feeling then for your body lying on the floor. Your arms resting, relaxed from the shoulders all the way through to the fingertips. Your legs resting, no more constraint. Release. Relaxed from the hips through to the tips of the toes. Your back relaxed, resting on the floor. Your tummy and chest. Your head resting on the floor. And so the neck is resting too. Now, enjoy 5 minutes of mental rest, mental peace, We've created a space after pressure. Observe your mind flowing into that openness, up and out, expanding. Enjoy. Feel your body lying on the floor in a space. Your arms, your legs, your back, your front, the head and neck, the face, the space you're in, the air wrapped around you, and within your body, your resting breath. Through the mouth, have a big breath in and a deep sigh. Thank you very much. Well done. Take care.